With no gubernatorial team just yet to represent the Democratic Party of Guam, instead party chairperson Roy Respicio spoke before students at the Guam Community College. He described what leadership is doing to unite the party after decades of division.
What I'm presenting to you is an update over the last 5 months of how we're constantly rebuilding.
And to heal the hurt within the party, the Democrats have hit the streets, heading into island villages, holding what they call listening tours.
So in these listening tours, I would just give an overview like I've just given, and then I would just sit down and then let these families step forward and talk about how their lives were not made better over the last 3 years, talk about the crime epidemic facing our community, talk about how they don't feel like it's safe for them to be in their own homes, and talk about how the fabric of our society has changed. But along with those discussions, we talk about what kind of solutions and ideas can be generated to take back the Guam that we once known it to be, the Guam that we would always love it to be, where Guam is a very special place. And so we're going down this road where, as chairman of the party, I could say that the Democratic Party is united. We have Governor Gutierrez, we have Congressman Underwood, we have Congresswoman Malin Berdalio, all on the same page. And along with that effort, we have disaffected Republicans who certainly want to see some kind of change in the current leadership.
But will the party be able to come together before the deadline to file for candidacy in July? A student asked whether Respicio himself would make a run for Adelup. Respicio responded that he was running for senator, but said he is spending his time making sure there will be a team to respond to this hunger for change in the leadership at Adelup.
So what the Democratic Party is trying to do is let people know that we're the party of inclusion, that we're going to represent not only the people in our community, but make sure that every voice is heard. We're going to pursue everyone's interest in running for governor. We are pursuing Governor Gutierrez's interest in running for governor. We're pursuing Senator Mike Nicholas's interest in running for governor. Where you can imagine all kinds of different combinations and all kinds of different pairings that has come up over the last 5 months. And we're going to recognize all of those pairings. So when it's time for the party to come up with a gubernatorial team, no one will ever feel that they've been left behind.
Meanwhile, also speaking before GCC students last night was Jonathan Diaz, who picked up a packet from the Guam Election Commission to run as a Republican against the incumbent team of Calvo Tenorio. Diaz did not speak before students during the Republican Forum on Wednesday because he is not a sanctioned GOP candidate.
And before getting more emotional, because my party decided not to include me yesterday. And it hurts my heart to know that after all that I've done, for the party, that they would not permit me to speak. First, I want to formally express to the Democratic Party that I will always be a Democrat. And I will always be a Democrat because my mother is a Democrat, and my grandmother is a Democrat, and my great-grandmother is a Democrat.
During his introduction, Diaz began with a blessing.
Before we begin, I guess, in terms of my platform, I'd like to go around and bless this room, to consecrate it and make it holy in the eyes of the people of democracy. And I do it with plain water. And water is an element that is free and given to us by God.
Diaz would then recite a portion of the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln and announced a portion of his platform.
My first campaign goal is to give free water and free power to all the people of Guam. Oh, how is that possible? It's possible because I thought it in my head, right? I believe it in my heart, and I'm going to push it out in my hands, right? When you elect me as governor of Guam, I thought it, it's in my heart, I'm putting it out in the world. Something that is thought is always going to transact to an action. And that action in our world is by providing a solar panel to all families on this island.
Diaz previously ran as an independent for Congress and again as a Democrat for both Congress and Senator. Senatorial forums are scheduled for later this month.
And of course